some of the best training and just be filled up, like we get to go to a GTC for you guys, except it's the leadership. And I can't tell you all, again, how excited I am about everything that we have coming our way. I know the leaders have been sharing as much as we can share. So much of it is top secret because we would ruin Christmas for you if we shared anything else. But you guys, just I don't know if I can convey it as well as I want, but just the feeling of belief and excitement and hope alone is the best part about what we are experiencing this week. But not to mention all that we have coming our way with what the company has planned for us this year in our businesses. And it is going to be the beginning of what we have been saying is coming. I've been saying it for over a year now. Get ready, you guys. Work your businesses because this company is getting ready to do something. I don't know what, but vision was my word last year. Impact is my word this year. And it hit me like a ton of bricks whenever I was kind of struggling to figure out what's my word. And then it was like, impact is my word. And it's because we are going to make an impact in this world in 2019. And I just hope you guys have taken every single thing that we have given you to heart and have been like preparing your life so that you can work your business to the point that it can be something that becomes the priority that it needs to be in order for everyone to take advantage of what this company is going to do and to take in everything we've given you. I feel like we have just given all of us, me included, so many different ways to expand our reach out methods, to expand our reach, because so that we can have a bigger impact in this world with Arbonne. And then that reach, you guys, every time we get to reach out and get somebody, all it does is it brings them back. I was telling people on my team huddle call, everything we've done to teach you what we've got to do is just bringing you right back to what we've always done. Get on a take a look call, see where they, are comfortable in this business as a consultant, as a client, or as a host. And then we start working the system from there, and we start connecting to them and getting them to use all the reach out methods that we have. And you just see how this business naturally works and will grow for everybody if we just really, number one, get your life arranged in a way that you can work this in as a priority. And then Cecilia said, we need to believe bigger, commit more, and work harder. That's what we need to do now, this year for sure, but forever in this business, you guys. Our CEO, there's not one MVP that is not just because now they've gotten to see him in person and can feel the belief that he has in Arbonne, in us, the vision that he has for all of us, and the things that he's already doing that shows his commitment and his belief in us and his trust in us that we are going to turn around and give back what we can that will make this business grow to be the $1 billion company that it's going to be this year. So he is so much like the leaders that we talk about in this book. And this book this week talks about split happens. And I don't know if you guys have your book or the book, but I love this because it is this little diagram here, and it talks about the what and how the line and it, goes straight up here at an angle, and then it has your why here. And in the beginning of a business, how the what and the why are in alignment with each other. But as a business grows, it can lose the why, and people lose their why, and they just start focusing on the what and doing the what. And they talk about how the what is easy to measure because it's like, well, what did my business do this month? How many did it sponsor? How many, how much volume did I sell this month? And we get so focused on the what. Did I hit the district manager goal? Did I hit this? But we've got to keep our why the main thing. And Cecilia Stoll, you guys, we all got these cups from 4 wide up. And there are 4 wide cups, there's 5 wide cups, and then there was one 12 wide cup. Cecilia got a 12 wide cup, and her Yeti was a pink Yeti. I'm really proud of this 4 wide cup and all the girls that, and all of you that helped us to achieve this, because I'm proud of that. But I want to always have a 12 plus wide cup waiting on me, because you guys, the reason she has a 12 wide cup and the reason Cecilia Stoll is so good at what she does is she's never forgotten why she's doing it. Her why is what drives her every single day. And people ask her, Cecilia, why do you keep doing, Arbonne the way you do it? Because she has enough. But you guys, if she quit, it would mean that she lost her why. And she says, as long as I have, breath in me, I have purpose left in me. And that is her why for what she's doing with this vehicle that she has to do it with. So she's so good at what she does because she's never forgotten why she does it. So when you're out there doing Arbonne, are you doing it with your why? Are you passionate about your why? Because he says Walmart started small, Microsoft, Apple, General Electric, Ford, every company started small. An organization starts in the same way, with an idea, just like Petter started Arbonne with an idea. And we started out really, really small. And he said, in the beginning, ideas are fueled by passion. And definitely, you guys, if you've watched the Petter videos, again, culture has been the theme of this week too, just getting back to who we are as a company and why we started out the way that we did, and what is it that, that's what got us where we are, and it's what we need to protect today. But we started with his passion, and they talk about how it can be compelling emotions that cause people to do what looks like irrational things. Like passion drives people to make sacrifices so that the cause bigger than themselves can be brought to life. And you guys, my why, whenever I started my business, was that I needed to rescue my family. I was so passionate about the opportunity to rescue my family from the life that we were living that I looked irrational. I did crazy things, and people were like, I can't believe you're doing what you're doing. And they couldn't believe that I went region in 4.5 months working a 50, 60-hour job. But you know what? I laid it all on the line because I had this idea that this business could absolutely change my life for my family. And I became passionate about that. And my bigger why, my why for my family was to help my family. But my bigger why was that I needed to give this gift to the world because everyone deserved to have that opportunity for their life as well. And that is still what drives me to do this business the way that I do it, just like Cecilia does her business. And so we all start out small, but we come in with a passion. And he says the passion is so intoxicating and exciting that it can affect others as well. And that's what happened in my business. I was so passionate about what I was doing and for me, but what I knew I had the opportunity to offer the world. People were intoxicated and affected by it. And they were inspired by my vision and joined me and became an early adopter from my behavior. But he said, you rely on your gut. And he said 90%, whenever you will do stuff that even when 90% of the chance means that you're going to fail. And you guys, that's what everybody wants to say in Arbonne is that, well, it's not going to work anyway. But if your gut feels like, you know what, I can make this work. I can do this. And you keep going, even though people tell you you're crazy for doing Arbonne. That's because you have passion about what you're doing. Now you just have to add the activity part to that and know that nothing can stop you. And that even though, the fun thing about Arbonne is that we're not starting a Walmart company that costs a lot of money. We signed up and committed to using these products and telling the world about it. That's as crazy bad, as well, that's what we have to do. As bad as it can get is that we end up getting those products still at a discount. That's how we would fail. But the biggest failure, you guys, would be that you didn't live up to your potential in this business, because I believe with all my heart, if you're here, you have a why that's bigger than you, that is supposed to be lived out and played out by you. And this is just your vehicle, just like it's my vehicle, just like it's Cecilia Stoll's vehicle. So he says the reason that so many businesses fail, however, is because passion alone can't cut it. For passion to survive, it needs structure. A why without the hows, passion without structure has a very high probability of failure. And you guys, that's what we don't have to worry about. We really don't have to worry about something having our passion for this business failing, because we have structure. I mean, all of this stuff that we've been doing has been new because we've been putting structure around every reach out method that we have in order for you guys to know how to do it so well. You have confidence in it, and it doesn't affect an ounce of your passion that you have to go out there and give it away to your world. And then you also have confidence that you know what structure you need to plug somebody else into in order to be able to help them be able to do what it is that we do here. So we don't have to worry about just having passion. We have everything we need for a company to be successful. But he says they know that people knew the how to build the systems and processes to see companies grow. They're among the statistical 10% of small businesses that didn't fail in their first 3 years. And he was talking about the guys or the people in that Titan meeting where they, in the last chapter. But he says passion may need structure to survive, but for structure to grow, it needs passion. Do you realize we've got it all? We've got both. Passion enough to start a business with knowledge enough to build the systems and the structures to survive and even do very, very well. So this is where that's how a company can start, how it can get successful. But he says what happens with companies is that all of a sudden this split happens whenever a company becomes obsessed with achieving its goals and it loses its passion for why it was doing it. And it talks about Walmart doing the what instead of the why, and how Walmart forgot Sam Walton's mission and reason for starting everybody's store that they could afford. They have the cutest little stories about Sam Walton. But he says the greatest challenge any organization will face is success. Because when a company is small, the founder, and Petter was our founder, you guys, but then the hard part about a company as it grows is, does the why split off whenever the founder that started it is no longer here? Or is it able to continue to move up with the what that the company is doing from the beginning? And we have our why and our what with our personal businesses, and then we have it with Arbonne. So you guys, I will tell you, our CEOs between us, you guys know, I always say I'm super grateful for every one of them. They've all done their job and taught us something and brought us to where we are today. But Petter started here with his why, and we were like, this is a company. Whenever Petter sold us and then died, then our why, for a while with the home office company, it kind of went like this, because we became the goal, the bottom dollar, we didn't continue to have the why and the what be lined up like this. I will tell you what saved our company was that the consultants never forgot Petter's why. He created enough influencers and it had his legacy in the people, the pioneers that started with him, and helped it keep his company closely connected to the leader's vision and the why. And that is what helped Arbonne. We fought, you guys. I mean, I know, if you guys want to know some of the real truth, some of those MVPs, it was before I got on the leadership council, thank goodness, went to the board that had bought us and had a CEO, told them that the CEO was not a good fit for our company and that it needed to go. And I'll let that one remain nameless because most of you probably don't even know about it. But that's what our pioneers did to protect Petter's vision and his why. And that is what a why will do. You will fight for your company. And that's what you have to do for your company. And I mean, I've turned people into best whenever I knew they weren't doing things the way with the same mission and policy and procedures, but still the doing good for people in this business. If anybody comes in here and starts messing around with people's businesses, I have no problem turning them into our legal department and saying, this does not fit our culture and it needs to be addressed. And if it doesn't get corrected, then they can get deregistered. That's what we do, you guys, in this company, because it's us that protects our company's culture and the reason why we're doing this. And the reason we do Arbonne is to help people have the life and the equality, the equal chance to have the kind of life that we all get to have. But he says the second line represents the why, the clarity of the founding purpose, cause, or belief. The goal is to ensure that as the measurement of what grows, the clarity of the why stays closely aligned. And don't let the split happen, you guys. He says the volume of the megaphone comes solely from the growth of what? He said, if it does happen, he says, then that's whenever the company starts to have that split happen. And whenever the organizer or the founder is close, it's easy. But every time your company grows, you guys, my company has grown. If I didn't have 4 great leaders that protected the why, I don't know if you guys can see that, 4 great leaders that protected the why of our mission and our purpose that we started with, we wouldn't get to grow bigger. The reason Cecilia's 12 wide is that she has communicated her vision and influenced 12 people to believe what she believes and now go on and pass that down to others. And I've got 4 of those and working at the MVP level and working to get more. But when you grow, if we lose that why, that's when our businesses will suffer. So don't lose, the why as you get bigger, and it has to duplicate all the way down. Trying to see where I want to. He says, being around a charismatic founder allows the feeling of being part of something special to flourish. Although there may be some efficiencies to be gained for small businesses that are perfectly comfortable staying small, the need to articulate the why is not as important. So if you're small, you don't have to worry about being able to articulate the why of the company as much, because just being around a leader that believes big enough for everybody is enough for a company to maintain the culture. That's how it was with Petter. What's cool is that Jean David now, you guys, we're a big company, but people can feel his charisma and his passion for this company to be able to let it be big enough that we can duplicate that in our leaders and grow even from here. So small, you can be a charismatic leader and survive. But as your company grows, you've got to be able to pass what he calls the school bus test. And the school bus test is the simple metaphor. He says, if a founder or a leader of an organization were to be hit by a school bus, would an organization continue to thrive at the same pace without them at the helm? And you guys, we had a BP retreat in Oklahoma a few years ago, and you guys know my website is a big priority for me, tools and things for you guys to be able to get and use and understand how to let it guide you to build a business is a passion for me. The YouTube videos, and I said at that meeting a few years ago, is that my goal is that if I died today, you all would have everything you needed to still continue to work and build this business and grow, and not let your business stop because I was no longer here. That's my goal, my mission, because I want this for you after I'm gone. I won't care that I'm not going to have Arbonne anymore because I'm in a much better place. But I want it to be where you guys have everything you need to let this continue. And I was equipping you with tools and all of those things. But really, what we now have to equip ourselves with for sure to pass our school bus test is the mission and the passion of what it is you have your hands on, and that you will figure out a way to do it, the what and the how, because you know your why. and that you're never going to let this why die inside of you just because a leader in your organization dies. But at the same time, that's what I'm building for my company now. Are you building that for yours? Is that what you are giving to your teams? Are you helping them realize what they're a part of? Are you helping them get connected to Petter's videos and learning about their legacy and realizing that they're part of something bigger than what they may be able to even see in the beginning? But he says that the challenge isn't to cling to the leader, it's to find effective ways to keep the founding vision alive forever. And that I need to make sure that you all believe what I believe, what Petter believes. He says the founder's why must be extracted and integrated into the culture of the company. And that, you guys, is what we spent probably half of this meeting on, was culture. We have we had 44 or 45 new MVPs that promoted in 2018. And it was such a cool thing, you guys, to be able to see that the main thing our home office wanted and our leader today wanted to be infused into all the MVPs that were at this meeting this week was the culture that we have, because these people are brand new and they've done great with their what, but now make the why of what you're doing even bigger, and you will never ever struggle or have to let this business suffer a split, because we have our why closely connected to our what's. So he says future leaders and employees alike must be inspired by something bigger than the force of a personality of the founder, and must see beyond the profit and shareholder value alone. You got to see past, going MVP. You've got to see past the dollar sign money that you can make in your business to take care of your why. You've got to be connected in your heart to why this founder, our founder, Petter, started this company for people like you and me. And you've got to have that be part of your why and your mission for doing this as a business, that it's your job because you were given this, that you are passionate about the responsibility that you're supposed to share it and give it away with your world. So he talks about different companies that suffered a split and will never be able to get it back, American Online. And I remember you guys thinking how Tammy Clinton used to have an AOL.com email address. And I had an old email address. I was like, and it was a cool thing back in the day. And I was like, man, I wish I had an AOL.com email address. And then Cecilia Stoll got a me.com address, which was an Apple address. And then I realized what that was, and Apple's so cool. And you guys, I wanted to be a part of that Apple address. And I mean, now I have a me address, but now that I'm looking and reading about these companies, you realize why you wanted to be a part of it. It was something that you wanted to have connected to who you were, because it represented what they believed represented what you believe, that you wanted to be able to reach out to everybody and give everybody the opportunity to live out their purpose in life. And that's what these companies did. But AOL lost their why, and they said they ended up being sold off for scrap, split up. Their stocks were being split up and sold off for scrap. And he said, it's not coincidence that successful entrepreneurs long for the early days, because you guys, the early days is whenever that why is so connected to the what. But don't long for the early days in anything. Be willing to work harder to figure out how to infuse the belief that you have. And Arbonne has, like some of our old leaders in Arbonne, even before John DeVee came, they used to say, gosh, I just wish it was like the old days. And they just wanted to go back to that why being super connected to the what. But you guys, we had to go through the split to be able to appreciate having it back now. And instead of wishing you can go back in time, figure out what you got to do to make your business bigger, and let that why be carried forward and not shrink back to a smaller business, to stay closer to the people and make sure they're doing it. Because I will tell you, that's where I see duplication stop. If you are believing in your business and you have the people that are close to you, and all of you live right here, and you're all one big happy family, and you believe what this one believes, and everything is right here, your why and your what are right here. But businesses like that, sometimes I see them, they never grow bigger than that. You've got to figure out how to grow your what, but keep your why growing with it, or you will not grow to have multiple MVPs, not just wide, but deep. That's the goal. That's whenever you know you have infused your belief and your passion for what we do in this company and have as a responsibility to share with our world. You infuse it into other people that are now infusing it into other people. If you're just 12 wide or just 4 wide, but you don't have the depth to go with it, your why still is keeping your business small. You still have some leaders that are not infusing it so well that it's able to grow bigger and deeper and still stay connected together. Does that make sense? People comment if you understand what I'm saying. We have to be willing to get bigger and not let, as the charismatic people, have to stay so close. You've got to become the charismatic person that will grow your business so that we can continue to grow with and that depth in the amount of MVPs that go. So don't just get the why and help people get connected to it and understand who this company is from the beginning and why they want to be a part of what we do and why people would want to choose us and become loyal to us over other companies out there. And then just keep that. The main thing, the how and the what are the simple little skills that we have to do to know how to reach out to people. But the why is what we need to make sure that we're teaching and helping people get inside their heart. He had a cool story here, just talking about a lady who owned a financial company. She worked for one to begin with, and the way that they collected money, it was a collection company. And the way they collected money was by kind of hounding people instead of being nice. And she just kind of hated that she had to do what she did in the job that she had to work. So that she, in the end, started her own company, her own collection company, and she got there by being nice. And people like criticized her and said, "You're not going to collect money by being nice to people that owe you money." And she said her job was to get to know the people. And instead of giving people bonuses for how much money they collected, she gave her company bonuses for how many thank you notes they sent out. But you guys, what they did was they learned about the people's situation. And then they were able to figure out a way to make a plan, a payment plan that worked with people so that they could get their money back. And more of the companies that hired her to collect their debt, their bad debts, had their customers come back and do business with them again because of how they were treated. And those companies her company collected back 300% more money than other collection companies for their people that hired them to go collect money. And they did it by being nice. And they did it by finding out the people's stories. And you guys, I thought that's what we do in Arbonne. We find out people's stories. We don't judge people because we know this business is an equal opportunity for people to take control of their health, take control of their finances and their time. And we get to just find out the story and from there go and see what it is we can do to help them with this business. And that's our why. And that's what she did. And because she did, she was way more successful than the companies who tried to do it with the other, aggressive method. She says that, let's see, it says your what is a very poor measurement to ensure that your why stays clear. Like having how much money, they collected was not what was keeping the why of those businesses clear. But she believes that people should not spend all their time at work, but rather they should work to spend more of their time with their family, work-life balance. And that, you guys, this is a company that made people go in at like 8 to 8:30 and then clock out by 5:30. And they got more done in that time because she wanted people to have their work-life balance and spend time. And so she kept her employees even doing what it is that she thought was important for people to be able to do to have success in their life. If those outside the megaphone share your why, and if you are able to clearly communicate that belief in everything you say and do, trust emerges and value is perceived. When that happens, loyal buyers will always rationalize the premium they pay or the inconvenience they suffer to get that feeling. To them, the sacrifice of time and money is worth it. The external factors and the feeling they get comes completely from inside of them. And when people describe the value they perceive, the visceral, excited words like love, that is the sure sign of that a clear sense of why exists. People love Arbonne, you guys, and we love Arbonne. And so that is when we know we've communicated our why, and yet I will tell you what's coming this year is going to make us even the value even more easy to communicate and help people know why they love Arbonne, because it's going to be so many great things that are happening. So good successions keep the why alive. And that's why I thought, I love that we call our stuff a success line. Our success line means we've kept our why alive. He talks about Bill Gates being special, and he embodies what he believes, and how whenever he departed, the company, suffered a little bit because he was and the same with Steve Jobs. Whenever he hired his guy, he kind of manipulated him to come and take the job and take over Apple. And he ran the company as a business and wasn't there to lead the cause. And Apple suffered. He said all of these big companies have started having a split, but then the leader comes back and the why and the what come back together, and it starts to kind of reestablish itself. So, but he says that like most inspiring leaders, Jobs trusted his gut over outside advice. He was regularly criticized for not making mass market decisions, and such as letting people clone the Mac. He couldn't. Those actions violated what he believed, and he said they failed the celery test. And you guys remember, our celery test is equal opportunity, no harm for others, for us to succeed. And that's what I love, is that, that's what they were talking about. Like, he wasn't willing to do anything that caused with the culture or the mistrust of the company that made it every man for himself. In Arbonne, what we do is the best for everybody. We do the best for you. We love you right where you are, and we're going to help you grow in your business in the way that it's best for you. We're going to coach you. We're going to guide you. And I will tell you that sometimes, until people know we have such a strong why in helping people in this culture, they worry that we are showing them how to get to this level and this fast. And you guys, it's never, what I love is we never do harm to anybody. We're only helping coach you for what's best for you, so that you can have everything that you came in here for faster in your business. So no harm to others is the culture, and that will not be, there's never going to be, if we ever let this be every man for himself and us in here just like, I got to get my paycheck, you will never grow a business for Arbonne, because this is all about helping other people do what it is they need to do for their lives to be better too. So, but he talked about how these people, these leaders of all these companies that suffered splits whenever they left, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, all of them, he said none of these executives are considered God's gift to management. So them being that influential leader that helped that why stay close to the what and keep their company strong. He said it wasn't because they were these amazing, God's gift to management people. He said Steve Jobs had paranoia, for example, and Bill Gates was socially awkward. He said their companies are thousands of people deep, and they alone can't pull all the strings or push all the buttons to make everything work properly. They rely on the brains and the management skills of a team of people to help them build their megaphones. They rely on people who share their cause. That's what we do in Arbonne, you guys. We will not grow our businesses if we don't get people to believe in and share our cause with us and help us. But I also love but we don't have to be what maybe some people think a charismatic leader is. You just have to believe in the cause big enough and passionately enough that you attract other people to want to believe it with you. He says what they all have in common is something that not all CEOs possess, is that they physically embody the cause around which they built their companies. Their physical presence reminds every executive and every employee why they show up to work. Simply put, they inspire. So our job, you guys, is to believe what Petter believed and then pass that belief down and have that belief be infused into everything that we do, and let that the how and the what come. He says for companies of any size, success is the greatest challenge. And I think we've already said that. The company is one of the what's to his why on Bill Gates. It's like, it's just what we do. Everybody that does things here, like the what I love is that there was also a video on sex trafficking and how the Arbonne Charitable Foundation has built this this place, this safe haven for these people, the victims of sex trafficking. And then we have the Haiti and there's Africa, and we all have our own missions everywhere that we support and do because we're still living our why. And he talks about Bill Gates did his Microsoft company, but he also had a Linda and Bill Gates Foundation that helped people with other, needs outside of that Microsoft company. Same with Arbonne people that are here because they care about people. They want to help people. They believe that, that's what Petter did and why he started this company. He cared about people. He wanted to help people. He wanted to give us a life that he knew that we could have if we could just go out and help share his great products and mission with the world. But his mission was to help us. And we are here because we wanted that help. But now, from our past needing the help, we want to go out and help other people too. And we have all of this that because of Arbonne, we get to be more of who we really are. And we get to go do and give to more people because that is all our why. And Arbonne was one way to express our why, but then Arbonne gives us the vehicle to express it in different areas too. The entire culture of all companies was built around one man's vision. The only succession plan that will work is to find a CEO who believes in and wants to continue to lead that movement and not replace it with their own vision of the future. And that is what he was talking about with one of the companies, and how, if the company is going to survive and not suffer the split, you've got to find a CEO that will take over in succession what you believe. And that's what we have in John DeVete, you guys. He believes to his core what Petter believed. And we have a leader now that has, it is the successor to Petter, even though we've gone through all these other leaders and had, the succession was broken for a while, honestly, in not a bad way. It was just our journey, but we were the numbers, not the mission. And now we're back to, this is a mission, and we have to be on purpose with it to honor it and do what we all have the ability to do. He talked about just being the normal guy, Sam Walton, and how the CEO has to pick up the original banner and lead the company into the next generation. That's why we call it succession, not replacement. There is continuity of vision. And he talked about Herb Kelleher, that with Southwest Airlines, and whenever he was interviewing his successor, he noticed that Putnam, which was the Southwest guy, noticed that Kelleher, who was going to take over Southwest, he kicked his shoes off and he had a hole in his sock. And he said he knew right then that he was an every man's man, and he was the right man for the job because he had holes in his socks too. And I know it's silly, I just got chill bumps. And Petter was an every man's man, you guys. He was just this normal guy that, even though he had, a lot of money in his family already, and he had such a heart to want to help people. If you haven't watched those videos, watch those videos and know who your founder is. But he was just this, he didn't dress fancy. This book talked about how Sam Walton had his little tweed jacket and his little hat and jeans, and he drove his pickup truck, and the most he made was like 300 and some odd thousand a year, even though his company was worth billions. And that was Petter. And really, it's John DeVete. He's been running around in his little, jeans and his shirt and stuff. Just this, you wouldn't be able to pick him out as a CEO here. Because he's just me. He is just everyone's man. He blends in with all the rest of us. And you guys take it down to me. I mean, here I am, 5 a.m. in the morning. I have not even brushed my hair. I mean, I'm not here to be glammed up in front of you. I'm here because I'm just like you. I get up early. I look a mess. And I'm still here passionately sharing my why, because it's not about the prestige. It's not about the look. It's not about how I'm going to impress somebody with everything that I have or do or how I live. I mean, we drive a Tahoe, you guys, that the paint is coming off because we bought it when Blake Nelson was 3 years old and he's 24 today. And that, yeah, you know what? It tells people, I'm just like you. I'm here for you. And those are the things, not that we have to, I mean, I drive a very expensive $100,000 white Mercedes too, but that's, Arbonne pays that, you know, but it's like outside of that, are you who you really need to be to, and I don't even know if this is coming out right. It's not that things are bad, but it's being, we attract people, the everyday person, even though we have all that we have, because we've never forgotten where we came from. That's it. It doesn't bother me. I'm not here for show. I'm here to let everyone know I was once where you are, and this is what I was gifted with and given the opportunity to do, and I can help you do it too. And I want people to always know and feel I'm normal. I'm just like you, and I get you. Because if I don't stay normal and I don't stay real and I don't stay not perfect, you know, or try to make people think I'm perfect, then I'm not going to connect with people because they think, well, gosh, you can do that because you're that. And that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here for you to look at me and go, gosh, if she can do it, I can do it. And be the person that they feel like they can trust to say yes to joining my business and in my success line, be one of my successors because they are like me. But he, one guy, he said, whenever Putnam was talking about Kelleher, and he said, you know, I knew he was my guy, and I told him, I suggested one afternoon, let's go take a break and grab a Starbucks. And he said the mere suggestion incensed him. He says, I'm not going to Starbucks. He cracked. I'm not paying $5 for a cup of coffee. And he says, it was at that point I realized how perfect a fit Putnam was for Southwest. He was an everyman man. And they went to Dunkin'. He was a Dunkin' Donuts guy, and he hired somebody who could represent the cause, not reinvent it. And you guys, back to Petter, he came into work, you guys, and I think I've shared this story before. And instead of like being upset with his employees that were doing the best they could to take care of their kids, to be able to help him build his company, and they had a makeshift daycare in his warehouse, and he showed up a day early, and they used to get babysitters on the days that he would come in to the shop in Irvine from his home in Norway, and he showed up early, and they were freaking out thinking that they were going to be in trouble because they had this daycare at their work with their kids. And instead he goes and crawls over the little gates they had built around their kids and goes and sits down in the middle of the floor and plays with their kids. And then stood up and said, who else needs a daycare? Let's put a daycare in this building so that you can take care of your kids. That's why I don't want you here working for me if you can't take care of the family that you're here working for. And you guys, he was an everyman's man. He cared about us, and he cared about you, even though you didn't know him. And we were so blessed. I miss him. But I'm passionate about carrying on that mission, that why, that love for people that he had, so that we can give that to our people. We don't have to have him. Sorry. We don't have to have him to do it. We can do it. We can be him to the world, you guys, if you believe what we believe. And that's what we have the opportunity to do. And if we protect that culture and we keep living and loving the way that he lived and loved people, then this company will be bigger. And we have a CEO now that believes what Petter believed and cares about people the way Petter cared about people. And yet we have the financial backing to make this, and we have the reach out methods that can make this reach out into our world bigger. And that's why our founder, John David, says, we have what the world needs. We have the gift of solidarity, and we've got to get it out. And his mission, you guys, and us growing our products, our pricing, our ingredient policy, all of those things are what, but his mission is to give away to the world what we have in this company as a mission and a why. And who we are, the solidarity of community that we have, of people caring about other people and helping other people and wanting to give that out to the world. And even though we're growing bigger, that is what's driving his mission to get us bigger, is so that we can go out and make a bigger impact in this world. And impact is my word for 2019, because I am going to do all I can to give away what I have been blessed with to this world, to all of you, and equip you and inspire you to believe what I believe and to be a successor in my business, to go out and duplicate successors in your business who believe what you believe, so that we can make that impact, because we can, you guys. And this year is going to be where we have one of the biggest impacts we've ever had in Arbonne. I believe will be the biggest that we've ever had, because everything we've gone through, what we have, who we are, and what we have today to do it with, we are set for success. So we're not going to let a split happen. And you guys, if the split happens, those people are gone. If they don't carry on, if they want to do the what, but not with the why, they will benefit. I mean, we can love people where they are, but they won't grow like we grow in this business, that believe in on our own mission and don't care what the world thinks, and the passion may look crazy to our world, but we don't care, because you know what? I'm going to give this away to my world with passion every single day, with everything inside of me that I have to give it away with, and I'm going to make an impact. So I hope you're with me. Petter was an amazing man. If you haven't watched those videos, go watch them and just hear his heart. I love you. and just buy the mission that he had for you, and then know it was a gift, and that it's your responsibility to turn around and give it away to your world. And be like Cecilia. If there's a breath inside of you, there is still purpose left in you to go out and live. Love you guys. And sorry, I think just because, I don't know. I don't know. I love you guys. I love what I get to do, and I just feel so blessed. And I'm so excited where we are with our company and what we are going to be able to do in this world, you guys. It's bigger than us, all of us. But I need all of you to be able to do it with. Love you.